Have you ever felt like your prayers aren't being heard? Like there's a wall between you and God? You're not alone. Millions of people around the world feel the same way, especially when it comes to praying the Rosary. But what if I told you that there's a hidden truth about the Rosary that could change everything? A secret that even Pope John Paul II, one of the greatest spiritual leaders of our time, emphasized throughout his life. Today, we're going to uncover the 7 most common mistakes people make when praying the Rosary. These aren't just small errors. They're spiritual roadblocks that could be holding you back from experiencing the true power of this ancient prayer. And trust me, the last one is so shocking that hardly anyone talks about it. Pope John Paul II once said, "The Rosary is my favorite prayer." He knew its power, but he also understood how easy it is to get it wrong. If he were here today watching you pray, what would he say? What would he correct? The answers might surprise you, but before we dive in, I want you to do something. Right now, in the comments, type, "Holy Mary, guide my prayer." This simple act of faith will open your heart to receive what you need to hear today. Many of us learned to pray the Rosary from our parents or grandparents. We were taught the words, the order of the prayers, maybe even how to use the beads. But did anyone ever teach us how to pray with our hearts? Did they warn us about the mistakes that could block our prayers from reaching heaven? What's truly concerning is that according to Pope John Paul II, some of these mistakes can even open dangerous spiritual doors without us realizing it. Stay with me until the end, because after we uncover these 7 critical errors, I'll share a simple but powerful method to pray the Rosary as Pope John Paul II did, a method that has led thousands of people to experience real miracles in their lives. Are you ready to transform your prayer life? To unlock the true power of the Rosary? Let's begin this journey together, guided by the wisdom of Pope John Paul II and the timeless teachings of our faith. Let's start with the first big mistake many of us make when praying the Rosary. Pope John Paul II often warned against this error, treating the Rosary like a good luck charm. How many of us have hung a rosary from our car's rearview mirror, tucked it under our pillow, or carried it in our bag without ever praying it? This mistake is incredibly common, and its spiritual consequences are serious. Pope John Paul II explained that a rosary that's never prayed is like a sword that stays in its sheath during battle. What good is the best weapon if you never use it? The Rosary isn't a magical object that protects us on its own. Its power comes from conscious prayer, from meditating on the mysteries of Christ's life, and from Mary's intercession when we call on her with faith. I remember a story about a woman who proudly showed Pope John Paul II the 5 rosaries she wore around her neck. He looked at her with compassion and said, "My daughter, it would be better if you carried just one, but prayed it with your heart." This woman, like many of us, had confused the symbol with the essence. When we treat the Rosary like a charm, we not only miss out on its spiritual benefits, but we can fall into a subtle form of superstition. True Catholic devotion has never been about magical objects, but about living relationships with God and the saints. The second mistake Pope John Paul II often warned about is rushing through the Rosary. Have you ever found yourself reciting Hail Marys as if you were in a race against time? This is a very common problem, especially in our fast-paced world where we're always in a hurry. Pope John Paul II explained this error with a beautiful metaphor. Each Hail Mary is like a rose we offer to the Blessed Virgin. If you throw roses at someone in a hurry and carelessly, do you think they'll appreciate the gesture? In the same way, how do you expect the Mother of God to receive your rushed prayers? When we pray the Rosary hastily, we lose the very essence of this prayer, meditation on the mysteries of Christ. Our words become a mechanical mumble while our mind wanders or is anxious to finish. Pope John Paul II taught that the Rosary should be a moment of peace, a time to slow down and enter into the presence of God and Mary. So what's the solution? How can we avoid these mistakes and truly unlock the power of the Rosary? Stay with me, because in the next part, we'll dive deeper into more common errors and start exploring the transformative method Pope John Paul II used in his own prayer life. Remember, this isn't just about avoiding mistakes. It's about opening your heart to a profound spiritual experience that can change your life. Are you ready to take your Rosary prayer to the next level? If this information is already making you reflect, take a moment to subscribe to our channel. You'll continue to receive transformative content like this, helping you deepen your faith and prayer life. Now, let's dive deeper into the heart of the Rosary. Pope John Paul II often said, "The Rosary is a prayer of great significance, destined to bring forth a harvest of holiness." But to reap this harvest, we need to understand and avoid some crucial mistakes. The third error many make is praying the Rosary while focusing exclusively on material requests. Many believers see the Rosary primarily as a means to obtain favors, health, money, solutions to work or family problems. While it's legitimate to present our needs to God through Mary, Pope John Paul II warned about the danger of turning the Rosary into a spiritual shopping list. He taught, "The Rosary should transform your heart, not just change your circumstances. If you only pray to ask for material things, you're limiting the transformative power of this prayer." The Pope encouraged us to use the Rosary as a tool for spiritual growth, for deepening our relationship with God and Mary, not just as a way to get what we want. The fourth mistake is perhaps one of the subtlest and therefore one of the most dangerous: praying mechanically without attention or concentration. A person can pray slowly but still do it completely mechanically, with the mind wandering to 1,000 different places. Pope John Paul II explained that when we pray with full attention, our spirit truly rises to God, creating a channel of grace that the enemy cannot interfere with. He often quoted Saint Teresa of Avila, who said, "I don't want you to pray with your lips while your mind is far away." But how can we maintain focus during the Rosary? The Pope suggested visualizing the scenes of each mystery as if we were there. Imagine yourself in Nazareth when the angel appears to Mary, or at the foot of the cross with John. This practice not only keeps our mind engaged, but also deepens our understanding of Christ's life. The fifth error is praying the Rosary without truly meditating on the mysteries. Pope John Paul II emphasized that the Rosary is not just about repeating prayers, but about contemplating the life of Christ through Mary's eyes. He said, "Without contemplation, the Rosary is a body without a soul." Each mystery of the Rosary is an invitation to enter into a moment in the life of Jesus and Mary. When we skip this meditation, we miss out on the profound spiritual insights and graces attached to each mystery. The Pope encouraged us to spend a moment before each decade to recall the specific mystery, perhaps even reading a short scripture passage related to it. Finally, Pope John Paul II warned against the mistake of praying the Rosary in isolation from our daily lives. He taught that the Rosary should not be a disconnected spiritual exercise, but a prayer that influences how we live. Each mystery should inspire us to imitate Christ and Mary in our own lives. For example, meditating on the Nativity should move us to greater humility and simplicity. Contemplating the crucifixion should strengthen us to bear our own crosses with patience and love. The Pope believed that a well-prayed Rosary should gradually transform our character to be more like Christ's. As we continue, remember that avoiding these mistakes is just the beginning. The real goal is to make the Rosary a powerful tool for spiritual growth and a source of deep peace in your life. Are you ready to discover how to pray the Rosary in a way that can truly change your life? If these insights are touching your heart, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We're on this spiritual journey together, And there's so much more to explore. Let's take a moment to hear some real-life stories of people whose lives were transformed when they learned to pray the rosary correctly. These testimonies show the power of this prayer when done with true devotion and understanding. Meet Sarah, a 35-year-old teacher from Chicago. For years, she prayed the rosary every night before bed, but it felt like a chore. "I was just going through the motions," she admits. "I'd rush through it, often falling asleep before finishing." Then, Sarah attended a retreat where she learned about Pope John Paul II's teachings on the rosary. "It was like a light bulb went off," she says. "I realized I'd been doing it all wrong." Sarah started applying the Pope's advice, especially about meditating on each mystery. "Now, when I pray the joyful mysteries, I really try to imagine Mary's feelings when the angel appeared to her. I think about her courage and faith." The results were astounding. "Within weeks, I noticed a change," Sarah shares. "I felt more peaceful, more patient with my students. It was like the virtues I was meditating on were slowly becoming part of me." Sarah's story reminds us that it's never too late to transform our prayer life. Then there's Michael, a 50-year-old businessman from New York. Michael always carried a rosary in his pocket but rarely prayed it. "I thought just having it with me was enough," he confesses. After hearing a sermon about Pope John Paul II's teachings on the rosary, Michael decided to give it a real try. "I started praying the rosary during my commute," he says. "At first, it was hard to focus with all the noise, but I kept at it. Michael began to notice changes in his life. I found myself becoming calmer in stressful situations at work. I was making better decisions, treating people with more kindness. The biggest change came in Michael's family life. My relationship with my teenage kids improved dramatically," he shares. "I was more patient, more understanding. My wife said it was like I was a different person." Michael credits this transformation to the daily practice of meditating on the mysteries of the rosary. Lastly, let's hear from Emma, a 28-year-old nurse from London. Emma had always struggled with anxiety, and though she was raised Catholic, she had drifted away from her faith. "A colleague gave me a rosary during a particularly stressful time at work," she recalls. "I remembered my grandmother praying it, so I decided to give it a try." Emma started small, just praying 1 decade a day. She focused on Pope John Paul II's advice to pray with love and attention. "I began to look forward to those few minutes of peace each day," she says. "It was like a mini retreat from the chaos of the hospital." Over time, Emma noticed her anxiety lessening. "The more I meditated on Mary's trust in God, the more I felt able to trust him with my own worries," she explains. Emma's rediscovery of the rosary not only helped her manage stress, but also rekindled her faith. These stories show us that when we approach the rosary with genuine devotion and understanding, following the guidance of spiritual leaders like Pope John Paul II, it can have a profound impact on our lives. It's not about perfection, but about progress and openness to grace. Stories like these remind us of the power of prayer when done with sincerity and understanding. If you're feeling inspired by these testimonies, remember to subscribe to our channel. We'll continue to share more insights and stories that can help deepen your faith and prayer life. Now that we've heard these inspiring stories, let's talk about how you can identify spiritual signs in your own life as you improve your rosary practice. Pope John Paul II often spoke about the fruits of praying the rosary correctly, and these can be subtle but powerful indicators of spiritual growth. First, pay attention to your peace levels. Many people report a deep sense of calm settling over them when they start praying the rosary with true devotion. This isn't just about feeling relaxed, it's a profound peace that stays with you even in difficult situations. As you pray, notice if you're becoming more able to maintain your composure in stressful times. Next, observe your thoughts and attitudes. Are you becoming more patient with others? More forgiving? The mysteries of the Rosary, especially those focusing on Christ's passion, can soften our hearts and make us more compassionate. If you find yourself responding to annoyances with more grace, that's a good sign your prayers are bearing fruit. Another spiritual sign to look out for is an increased awareness of God's presence in your daily life. As you meditate on the mysteries, you might start noticing God moments throughout your day, small blessings or coincidences that remind you of God's love. This heightened spiritual awareness is often a result of consistent, heartfelt prayer. Pay attention to your decision-making. Process 2. Many people find that regular rosary prayer leads to clearer thinking and wiser choices. You might notice yourself pausing before reacting, considering things more carefully, or feeling more confident about your decisions. This clarity often comes from the time spent in quiet reflection during the Rosary. Your relationships can also be a barometer for spiritual growth. As you meditate on the Holy Family and Christ's love for humanity, you might find your own relationships improving. You could become a better listener, more patient with family members, or more willing to reach out to those in need. These changes in your interactions with others can be powerful signs of inner transformation. Another sign to look for is a growing desire for holiness. You might find yourself more drawn to spiritual reading, more eager to attend Mass, or more interested in learning about your faith. This hunger for spiritual growth is often sparked by the regular contemplation of Christ's life through the Rosary. Don't overlook physical signs either. While not everyone experiences this, some people report feeling a warmth or tingling sensation while praying the Rosary. Others might experience tears of joy or a sense of lightness. While these physical manifestations aren't necessary for effective prayer, they can sometimes be signs of spiritual consolation. Lastly, pay attention to your habits and behaviors. Are you finding it easier to break bad habits? Are you naturally inclined towards more virtuous actions? The regular meditation on Christ's life can slowly but surely shape our own behavior to be more Christ-like. Remember, these signs may be subtle and gradual. Spiritual growth often happens slowly, like a plant growing. Don't be discouraged if you don't see dramatic changes overnight. The key is consistency and sincerity in your prayer. As you start to recognize these signs in your life, you'll see how the Rosary isn't just a series of prayers, but a powerful tool for spiritual transformation. It's about growing closer to Christ through Mary, allowing their virtues to shape your daily life. If you're starting to see the Rosary in a new light, don't keep this knowledge to yourself. Share this video with someone who might need this spiritual guidance. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel for more insights on deepening your faith and prayer life. As we delve deeper into the power of the Rosary, it's crucial to understand how this prayer can become a cornerstone of your daily spiritual life. Pope John Paul II often emphasized that the Rosary isn't just a prayer, but a way of life, a path to deeper union with Christ through Mary. Think of the Rosary as a spiritual exercise program for your soul. Just as you might go to the gym to strengthen your body, praying the Rosary regularly strengthens your spiritual muscles. It builds your faith, hope, and love, the three theological virtues that are essential for a vibrant Christian life. One of the beautiful aspects of the Rosary is how it connects us to the larger story of salvation. As you pray, you're not just reciting words. You're participating in the grand narrative of God's love for humanity. You're walking with Mary through the joys, sorrows, and glories of Christ's life. This connection to the divine story can give new meaning and purpose to your own life story. The Rosary also serves as a powerful antidote to the stress and anxiety of modern life. In a world that's constantly demanding our attention, the rhythmic, Prayers of the Rosary create a space of calm and focus. It's like a spiritual oasis in the desert of daily distractions. Many people find that starting or ending their day with the Rosary helps them maintain a sense of peace and perspective. Moreover, the Rosary can be a tool for personal growth and self-reflection. As you meditate on the different mysteries, you might find yourself examining your own life in light of Christ's teachings. Are you living out the humility of the Nativity, the obedience of the Annunciation, the courage of the Crucifixion? These reflections can lead to profound personal insights and motivate positive changes in your life. The Rosary also has a communal aspect that's often overlooked. When you pray the Rosary, you're joining your voice with millions of others around the world. This creates a powerful spiritual connection, a global community united in prayer. It's a reminder that you're not alone in your faith journey. Pope John Paul II often spoke about the Rosary as a prayer for peace. Not just inner peace, but peace in the world. When you pray the Rosary, you're contributing to this larger mission of peace. Your prayers join with others to create a force for good in the world. Another important aspect is how the Rosary can deepen your relationship with Mary. As you spend time with her in prayer, you may find yourself developing a closer, more personal connection with the Mother of God. Many people report feeling Mary's maternal presence more strongly in their lives as they pray the Rosary regularly. Lastly, remember that the Rosary is a journey, not a destination. Each time you pray, you have the opportunity to go deeper, to discover new insights, to grow in love. Don't be discouraged if your mind wanders or if you don't feel anything spectacular. The very act of showing up and trying is itself a prayer. As you incorporate the Rosary more fully into your daily life, you may find that it becomes not just something you do, but a part of who you are. It shapes your worldview, influences your decisions, and guides your actions. This is the transformative, a power of the Rosary that Pope John Paul II so often spoke about. If you're feeling inspired to make the Rosary a more central part of your spiritual life, why not start today? And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more guidance on deepening your faith and prayer life. Together, we can explore the richness of our Catholic tradition and grow closer to Christ. As we near the end of our journey through the Rosary, let's take a moment to reflect on how this powerful prayer can truly transform your life. Remember, the Rosary isn't just a set of beads or a series of prayers. It's a doorway to a deeper relationship with Christ and Mary. Ask yourself, how has your understanding of the Rosary changed since we began? Perhaps you've realized that you've been praying it mechanically, without really engaging your heart and mind. Or maybe you've discovered that you've been treating it more like a good luck charm than a tool for spiritual growth. Whatever insights you've gained, now is the time to put them into practice. Consider this. What would your life look like if you committed to praying the Rosary with true devotion every day for the next month? How might your relationships change? Your work life? Your inner peace? Pope John Paul II often spoke of the Rosary as a school of Mary, a place where we learn to become more like Christ. What virtues do you need to grow in? Patience? Humility? Courage? The mysteries of the Rosary offer a perfect meditation for cultivating these virtues. Think about the challenges you're facing right now. How might meditating on Christ's life through the Rosary help you face these challenges with greater faith and strength? When you pray the sorrowful mysteries, for example, you're reminded that Christ himself faced immense suffering with dignity and love. How can this inspire you in your own trials? Reflect on your prayer life as a whole. Has it become stale or routine? The Rosary, when prayed with attention and love, can reignite your entire spiritual life. It can open your eyes to God's presence in everyday moments and deepen your appreciation for the Mass and other sacraments. Consider your role in your family and community. How might a renewed commitment to the Rosary impact those around you? Remember, when you grow in holiness, it naturally overflows to those in your life. Your patience, kindness, and peace can be a powerful witness to the transformative power of prayer. Ask yourself, what's holding you back from making the Rosary a more central part of your life? Is it time, lack of knowledge, doubt about its effectiveness? Whatever the obstacle, know that Mary is ready to help you overcome it. She wants nothing more than to bring you closer to her Son. Imagine yourself a year from now having prayed the Rosary faithfully every day. How different might your spiritual life be? Your relationship with God? Your ability to handle stress and challenges? The Rosary has the power to slowly but surely reshape your entire worldview, aligning it more closely with Christ's. Finally, consider this. The Rosary isn't just for you. When you pray it, you're joining a worldwide community of prayer warriors. Your Rosary could be the tipping point that brings peace to a troubled situation, comfort to someone in distress, or conversion to a lost soul. How might this knowledge change the way you approach this prayer? As we wrap up, I encourage you to make a decision right now. Will you commit to giving the Rosary a real chance in your life? Will you approach it with new understanding and devotion? The choice is yours, but remember, a life transformed by the Rosary is a life filled with grace, peace, and purpose. If you're ready to take your spiritual life to the next level through the Rosary, don't keep this knowledge to yourself. Share this video with someone who might need this guidance. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel for more insights on deepening your faith and prayer life. Together, we can discover the full power of this beautiful prayer. As we come to the end of our journey today, I want to leave you with some powerful final thoughts about the Rosary. Pope John Paul II once said, "The Rosary is my favorite prayer because it's a prayer of hope, peace, and family unity." These words carry even more meaning now that we understand how to pray it correctly. Remember when we started this video? Perhaps you were feeling uncertain about your Rosary prayers, wondering if you were doing something wrong. Now you have the knowledge and understanding to transform your prayer life completely. But knowledge alone isn't enough. It's what you do with it that matters. Think about what we've learned today. We've discovered that the Rosary isn't just a series of repeated prayers. It's a powerful spiritual tool that can transform your life. We've learned about the common mistakes that might have been holding you back, and more importantly, how to correct them. But here's what I really want you to take away from this. Your prayer life is about to change dramatically. Starting today, you have the opportunity to experience the Rosary in a whole new way. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning and approaching your Rosary with this new understanding. Imagine feeling that deep connection with Mary and Jesus that you've always longed for. I want to share something personal with you. Every time I see someone discover the true power of the Rosary, it reminds me of a light being switched on in a dark room. Suddenly, everything becomes clear. That's what I hope this video has done for you today. Switched on a light that will illuminate your spiritual path forward. Now let me give you 3 simple steps to start implementing what you've learned. First, commit to praying the Rosary. Daily, even if it's just 1 decade. Remember, it's better to pray a little with full attention than to rush through the entire Rosary. Second, choose 1 mystery each day to really focus on. Visualize it, meditate on it, let it speak to your life situation. Third, keep a prayer journal to track your spiritual growth as you develop this new practice. Write down any insights, feelings, or changes you notice in your life. But here's the most important part. Don't keep this transformative knowledge to yourself. Think about the people in your life who might be struggling with their prayer life. Maybe they're feeling distant from God, or perhaps they're praying the Rosary, but not experiencing its full power. They need to hear this message too. That's why I'm asking you to do 3 things right now. First, if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. We release new videos like this every week, and I don't want you to miss any of these important spiritual insights. Second, leave a comment below sharing your biggest takeaway from today's video. What surprised you the most? What will you do differently now? Your comment might be exactly what someone else needs to read to start their own spiritual transformation. Third, share this video with at least 3 people who need to hear this message. It could be family members, friends, or your prayer group. You never know how God might use this information to transform someone's life. Remember, the Rosary isn't just a prayer, it's a pathway to deeper faith, stronger hope, and more perfect love. Every time you pick up your Rosary now, you have the opportunity to pray it with new understanding and devotion. Before you leave, I want you to make a commitment. In the comments, write, "I commit to praying the Rosary with new understanding." This simple act of commitment can be the first step in your transformed prayer life. And if you're watching this video and feeling overwhelmed, don't worry. Start small. Even 1 decade prayed with full attention and love is powerful. Remember what Pope John Paul II taught us. It's not about quantity, but quality. Thank you for staying with me until the end of this video. I truly believe that your spiritual life is about to transform in amazing ways. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and share this video. Together we can help spread the true power of the Rosary to those who need it most. May Our Lady wrap you in her mantle of love and protection, and may your Rosary prayers become a source of grace, peace, and transformation in your life. God bless you, and I'll see you in our next video.